So the medal final for the men's Cox's 4. New Zealand start in lane 3. The world Olympic champions Great Britain to their left. So on the far side, France, alongside them Greece, New Zealand, Great Britain, USA, and nearest on this side, Italy.
Yeah, pretty good start there from the New Zealanders. I think they came out with GB pretty level across all the field, but it's good to see them coming out strong. I think they'll kick on hopefully a little bit in that second 250, but already GB through the white caps has pushed out to over a canvas on the rest of the field.
Well, in very challenging conditions on Lake Karapiro, this wind that starts as a headwind and then just swings to the side as they come through halfway. So they're battling through the waves at Karapiro, and it's this big, strong British combination. This is the sort of position, quite contrasting race plans between these two crews. New Zealand very strong in the second half. Great Britain like to dominate early.
Yeah, GB do like to sit down in front. They get out there, they get comfortable and onto a rhythm, and then they can see all the challenges coming. But whether they can do something about a possible challenge from New Zealand remains to be seen. But they're sitting in a pretty good position now, 3/4 of a length down on GB. USA hanging in there. We've got France on the inside and Greece holding on as well. But I'm expecting New Zealand to keep sticking to that GB crew, making sure they're there, making sure they don't get too far ahead.
Well, Great Britain settling on 37, and New Zealand now settling at around the same rating too. That's France on the far side. We've got to keep an eye on them as well. It's the quarter mark in the men's Coxless 4, and you can see this Britain crew sitting where it likes to sit in their races. They like to dominate early, and they've done that, so they've put a tick in that box. New Zealand 2.6 behind Greece and France, and Greece a surprise packet at this regatta as well. They really blasted through in their repercharge and won it, and surprised everyone in doing so. So now the crews really settle into the work as we're with Italy and looking across the course. Now that's Britain to your right, New Zealand in the white boat sitting in second, and then on the far side it's France in that third spot.
Yeah, well, you have to say that GB crew is looking good. They've managed to get clear water, just clear water now over the New Zealand crew. On the inside, France is going with New Zealand. If anyone's fading back, it's Greece. They had a great run through to get here. Two big crews are out, with Australia and Germany missing out on the final. And at this stage, though, the battle looks like between France and New Zealand for the minor medals. We know New Zealand's got their wind, and the water is going to get better as they get closer to the finish. Hopefully that's going to give them a chance to wind back on this GB crew.
Yes, well, very strong, confident rowing from Britain. As we just said that, you can see this is the problem. As the rowers come forward with their oars out of the water, this wave action can tip their boat over, and they have to be very careful. We saw the USA and the women's ball catch a horrendous crab and stop the boat, and they went from first to fourth in the course of just a few minutes. But here, as we see this race unfolding now, New Zealand just struggling as the conditions turn slightly to the side. So the rowers have got to contend with a boat that's been pushed off balance and pushed off course. And it is in lane 1, and we've seen this consistently in some of these races. The lane 1 crew just gets a little bit of a lift coming through this difficult middle part.
Yeah, this is definitely the toughest part of the course. Looking down the lanes, we're looking straight down the lanes from our position. You can see the big gusts of wind. The buoy lines are bowed as the wind pushes them across, and if they can get through this section in reasonable shape, I think there's still a chance for a push there. You can see them getting bounced around. There's a lot of white caps out on the water. This is about as tough as it gets for an elite race.
Well, it makes it difficult for the race plan that New Zealand adopts also, and with the rougher conditions here, because this is where they usually attack. So if they're only in survival mode, it can really cause them problems. Now France, up on the far side there, they finished second to the British in the heat. There was only 1.2 seconds between those two crews. So this French crew of Dorian Morlatt, Julien Desplay, Germain Chardin and Jean-Baptiste Marquette are a very useful outfit.
They do look pretty relaxed as well compared to the Greek crew there, but that Greece crew, after fading back, has started to fight through that rough patch of water and have pushed themselves back up on New Zealand. GB obviously also struggled with that rough water coming through and have let France get back up on them. As we come through, 12:50, 7:50 to go now.
So New Zealand with the challenge in front of it. The bow in lane 3 just perhaps starting to make a bit of progress with the bow from lane 2. So they are the challengers. Currently it's the British from the French, but the British now just seem to be tied up in this side water as well. Their rating has slowed, their effectiveness in the water, and I think the French are just starting to row through. But look at this Greek boat. They are really starting to improve as they approach that 3/4 mark.
Yeah, look, just looking across there, you can see France have got their nose in front now. GB just looking like they're struggling a little bit with the rating. Same with New Zealand. Greece is starting to sneak up. You just see the bow ball sneaking up. We are in for a great finish as we come through to 500 to go. As this water starts to settle down, hopefully New Zealand are going to be able to pull out a sprint.
Well, David Edith, Stroke, Hamish Burson, Simon Watson, Jade Uru now have the race of their lives in front of them. They have been so good this year. They surprised everyone with their wonderful silver medal at Lucerne. They rode the 8 at Munich, at Henley, and silver to the world champion Great Britain. But now it's a drag race between these four crews. Let's forget about USA and Italy. New Zealand now wanting to really wind it up and push through up alongside Greece. But look at the French.
Yeah, the French are looking really good. They're up on top of it. They're moving the blade through the water and they're not yanking it into the body. I think they're going to be hard to catch, but GB now at a risk of falling to Greece and New Zealand. I don't know if they're going to be able to catch the French, but hopefully they've got a chance to get up on GB. GB not being able to wind, but no doubting as we come through 250 who's going to be taking that first spot.
Well, France and Greece now really reveling in these conditions. Gee, this is a rags to riches story from Greece, because the two men in it, the two brothers, Nikolaos and Apostolos Gontolis, were kicked out of their men's pair and had to row this four, so that's a make-up crew, and they are flying here at Lake Karapiro. The French are going, but here comes New Zealand. Can New Zealand roll over the top of the Brits for that bronze medal?
Jade Uru there just having a look across. He knows he's there. They've done a push again and they're lifting. GB do look like they're struggling, and New Zealand coming back, flying back, even up on Greece. I think they might run out of water coming down to this last 100 metres, but it's a great fight back from New Zealand.
Well, look at these crews rush to the finish. There goes France. Greece goes, and New Zealand comes up and gets the bronze medal from the world champions. Well, look at the elation in the French boat. Today started with a French win in the men's lighty pair, and now they've got up and won a big one.
Well, you don't often see